Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Muhammad LUQMAN BISTHAMY bin SHAM ZULANEY, and now I will start the video presentation of our group project. First of all, the introduction. Our group study the relationship between playing video game and the CGPA score. So many of the students play video game to release their stress, but many of us say that playing video game may lower their exam result. So we as a group decided to implement this research to see whether playing video game will impact on their result or not. There are three problem of statement in our group project. The first one is our problem statement is to find out the thing that affect the CGPA of the student who like and not like to play games. The second one is some of the people think non-gamer student can have more time to study or finish an assignment than gamer student. The last one is, however, there are also gamer students that are able to arrange their time correctly to study just like non-gamer students. So for the hypothesis, our group expect that non-gamer student will get a better result than a student who like to play games because they will have more time to spend on their academic compared to the gamer student.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. So the method we use in our research, the data was collected based on the students from various universities in Malaysia. We are collecting this data through an online survey at the Google form. So in this survey, the respondent was asked to answer a few questions that related to our research. There are 100 respondents. We are using inferential statistic method. From the data collected, we use the variance and standard deviation to determine the spread of the data and the consistency of a variable. To determine the number of data values that fall within a specific intervals in the distribution, we're using the Chebyshev theorem.
So this is a pie chart that shows a relationship between gamer student and frequency of playing video games. So as you can see, more of them spend about 4 until 6 hours for playing video games. 16% spend more than 10 hours and the remaining 7 until 9 hours. This one show relationship between non-gamer student and frequency of playing video games. Most of them playing games just about 1 until 3 hours, and there are 26% from all of them they are never playing video games. This is graph bar analysis on category for type of student. The blue color indicates for gamer student and red color indicates to non-gamer students. This is central tendency comparison for the graph I showed just now. This is for the gamer students and non-gamer students data. Both graphs skew to the right since the maximum value for each group is towards the right side of the scale. This is graph bar analysis category for frequency of playing video games. Each CGPA has 5 different bars. From left, it indicates to never play games. Next to it, play 1 until 3 hours, and then 4 until 6 hours, then 7 until 9 hours, and lastly, for the blue color, it shows play games more than 10 hours. This is central tendency comparison for a graph frequency of playing video games. This page shows the data for never play games and play 1 until 3 hours. This page shows data for play 4 until 6 hours and play 7 until 9 hours. Then lastly, for student data that play more than 10 hours.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. So I'm going to talk about the final analysis. So the correlations between the CGPA and the hours spending playing video game is decrease the hours spending playing video games will increase the CGPA result. However, some students are not impacted by this behavior. And the correlation between the CGPA and the type of student, a gamer or a non-gamer. A non-gamer have a higher CGPA than a gamer. More students from the gamer who had a CGPA below than 2.5 than a non-gamer, despite the fact that none of the students from a non-gamer have a CGPA below than 2.5. So the hypothesis, we expect that non-gamer student will get a better result than a student who likes to play games. However, a student who are a gamer, which spending more hour playing video games, also achieve a decent CGPA. So our hypothesis is not proven correctly. Thank you.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Muhammad bin Zahidi. My matric number 2217551. So now I will continue for the last part of our project, conclusion and suggestion. So for our conclusion, in our research, we sought to investigate the relationship between student choice of frequency in playing video games and their cumulative grade point average CGPA result. Our hypothesis was that students who spend more time playing video games will have lower CGPA result. However, after the final analysis that have been made, based on the data collected from a sample of students, majority of the students who spend more time playing video games actually had a decent CGPA result. This result is a contradict to our initial hypothesis. So we found out that the students who spend more time playing video games have a better CGPA result. And also we believe this finding is logical and it is supported by data that we have been collected. However, we recognize that our research has limitation and weakness, particularly in our statistic and sampling method. Therefore, we reject our initial hypothesis and conclude that our research suggests that the relationship between video games and CGPA result is not as clear as we initially thought. So now we will move to the next slide, the suggestion for our research method. So we would like to suggest several ways to improve our research in the future income. So for the first point is increase the sample size up to the logic of the main hypothesis. First, we suggest to increasing the sample size to provide a more robust and representative samples. This will help to strengthen the logic of our main hypothesis and increase the statistical power of our analysis method. For the second point, we recommended to collecting more detailed information about the students and reviewing the data that have been collected and analysis method to ensure they are appropriate for the research question and hypothesis. This can help us to ensure that the outcome data is a high quality one and relevant to the research question method. So we'll move to the third point. We suggest to looking for potential source of bias or confounding variables in our data. So this can help us to control for any extraneous factors that may be affecting the result in our research. And for the last point, finally, we recommended in incorporating a qualitative approach to complement the quantitative data collected. This way can provide a more holistic understanding of the topic and can help us to provide further insights into the research question for the future. So I think that's all for our suggestion in the suggestion for our future for our research in the future. So I think that's all from us. Thank you and assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.